when Pep Guardiola come in, he moved the EDS from that building over to the academy building. So now it's just a first team centre. So it's one of them that I understand where Pep's coming from, because he needs his group and focus on everything what he has in the building. But Patrick always had it in we'd always look up to who we have and can kind of see how they're eating, see how they're preparing to go out to train in the gym and things. So I was pretty upset, to be fair, when we moved over to the other side of the building. But it's the facility is crazy, bro.
Footy258 back again, and this time we have someone I've known for a while now. You know, it's probably coming up to like a decade. Probably met each other playing for England long time ago. He's from up north. I'm down south. You know, he was a rock in our team. Someone that you could trust. You know, for every game, you're going to give you a consistent performance. And also, when he gets on the ball, you know, he shows what he can do. So today I have with me Sheffield United player Kean Bryan. How's it going, bro?
It's good, bro. Like I said, man, it's difficult times at the moment, but I've just had a little one in it. So I've just been keeping busy with him. He's like 7 months now, so getting to that stage where he's just kind of getting a bit more active now and doing things, so it's good, man. And obviously trying to keep as fit as possible.
Yeah, 100%, man. Congratulations, by the way. That's a big achievement. Like, I always ask young dads and just dads I know, where does that rank in achievements in your life?
Bro, like the best of the best, man. Like, you can't explain the feeling, bro. Like, as soon as he comes into this world, it was just like instant love, like love you've never felt. It's crazy, man. It just makes you more mature as a person as well. I think that's been a big thing for me. Like, I was already mature anyways, like a young lad, but this definitely has made me feel like I'm a real dad now, kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. What type of things does the missus get you doing with him?
Bro, from the minute I get up in the morning, yeah, non-stop, bro. Like, so I wake up, he normally gets up now, so he sleeps through till about 6:30, so up at that time, and then he comes down for his breakfast. We'll give him like 20 minutes watching TV, he'll have his breakfast, etc. And then it's time to make bottles, to clean the house, nappies, next dinner time, sleeps, putting him to sleep, because obviously babies don't go straight to sleep in it, so obviously you have to kind of get them into the routine of sleep, which is mad important, because if they have a good sleep like morning and lunch, then the night time is blessed. Whereas if like you go for a walk at a different time or something, then it can
off routine, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's just routine.
Yeah, you gotta be careful now if you're saying 7 months, because he's gonna start like holding on to things, kind of walking from maybe one chair to another chair or something like that, you know, holding on. So yeah, you gotta be careful, man.
Exactly, bro. It'll soon be walking, man. Time flies. It's like, it feels like yesterday we went to the hospital, but it's a blessing, man. It's crazy.
One thing you won't notice is obviously it's your baby, so you know, like everyone's baby, you're looking at your baby like, oh wow, like blah blah. But trust me, in about 5 months time, 6 months time, the way he's gonna change like so quickly, his face, everything. You're gonna look back in like maybe 2 years time and look at pictures from now, and you're gonna be like, wow, it looks so different. You know what I mean?
Bro, me and my missus are always speaking about it. Like, we look back on like the time at the hospital when he was first born and like 2 months old, etc. And keep looking back at things and you think, wow, like, was that actually him? We don't even like him now. He's so much bigger. He's kind of doing different things. And like you said, when he's in a couple months' time, when he's going to be able to walk, it's just going to be like, wow, he's walking. It feels like yesterday he was in hospital, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Just have to appreciate it and like, live each day with him and just enjoy it, man.
So let's get into your missus quickly. Brooke. She's obviously starring on Coronation Street, has been for many years now.
Big out in Canada, by the way.
Huh? Yeah.
Big out in Canada. She always says it's like one of the second most watched other than England.
Yeah, I know in Canada it's big. I know as well. So so you know, I don't know how it is. Could you just shed some light on, you know, how she had a baby in real life, but in the show, how does that affect her? And are you lot currently watching now? that you have a lot of time in quarantine?
Watching Corrie, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, her having the baby was kind of like, we was together for 3 years, and we just kind of felt it was the right time to kind of make that step in life. And obviously, I understand it's a big step. It's the biggest step you can make, having a baby together. So we just felt like it was the right time. We just got our own house and things, so it was just that perfect timing, really. So yeah, we was both happy with the decision we made, and then obviously she had to leave Coronation Street with obviously maternity leave, so she could look after the baby, which was hard for her because she was in Corrie from when she was 11, and obviously she's 28 next month. So it's been a long time that she was there, similar to us with football kind of thing. So she's been there since a baby, and then obviously she had to leave. It was an emotional time for her, but obviously at this moment in time she's just enjoying time with the baby and just appreciating life, because obviously with what's going on in the world now, like you just kind of sometimes have to take a step back and just think like how fortunate we are and how lucky we are to have what we have, kind of thing.
Yeah, so do you not watch it, like obviously during quarantine and stuff like that?
Nah, man. Like, she doesn't really like watching herself back on TV. Like, you know, like how I can compare it. Like, you know, when you play football or you watch interviews, sometimes you kind of cringe in it. Like, it feels weird to your own voice. So when it's on, if it's a big scene, then she'll watch it. But like day to day now, we don't watch it.
Okay, so transitioning from the fact that you said, I didn't know that actually, you said she's been on Corrie for 17 years.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So she joined when she was 11 or 12, and then she left obviously last year when she had the baby. So yeah, non-stop since then.
So quite similar, which was a couple years ago now. You were at Man City. You know, it's from your city. You know, Manchester. I don't know if you supported them or not, but I don't think you did. I don't think you did. But transitioning. You were at Man City for pretty much your whole life as well. So obviously, firstly, just take me through that transition in terms of how it's been coming out of a different environment, and then take me through how it all started.
So all started like playing on the local playing fields, like you did yourself and all the young footballers do. And then I got my coach at my local team was a scout for Man City, luckily, and then I got scouted and then obviously signed at 11. And then I carried on to be at City till I was 20, 21. And then obviously that's when the time came to kind of part ways. I had a good time there, like, bro, some of the moments that I got to like witness traveling the country, playing in the tournaments, playing against players like yourself and playing for my country, like I'll always be grateful for the opportunity that they gave me, man. Like, it was special, obviously. And at the time where City kind of went from that stage where before the owners come in, I was there before the owners come in, so I've seen it like grow and grow and grow, which was obviously special to see, especially like a local lad, because I literally lived from the new training facility. Now I live like 2 minutes away, and I actually opened up the new CFA, the City Football Association Academy. So it was just that was one of the most proudest moments I've had in football, opening that academy, man. Like, there was Patrick Vieira there was Vincent Kompany, there was a madman City legend, I forgot his name, man, but yeah, and then like the owners like Sheikh Mansour and things. So at the time I was like, I was 16, 17, and I was like opening the academy, and like, you know what I mean, in my local area, like that was my place where I used to walk day to day. So it was crazy, man. And then obviously it come a time to leave, and that's when I had a few loans. I went to Bury, I went to Oldham, did well at Oldham, and then off the back of that I got the move to Sheffield, and obviously, yes, so it's just been good, man.
Yeah, obviously, you know, growing up in one environment your whole life and then moving out, you know, it just takes some time to adjust to that. Like, did you always think in your head, okay, now I got to brace myself, this is going to be totally different to what I've had prior, you know, at Man City?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, definitely, man. Like, when I went to Sheffield, it was like, it wasn't a shock, but like everything was just different, man. Because like you said, I'm in my comfort zone at City. I've been there since I was 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was like just completely different people, which we kind of get used to when you go on loan and things, but just not the same. You always on loan, so you always go back to your club, you know that. Whereas at Sheffield, it's a new start, like obviously getting to know the city and things, it was just crazy. But the team just was like, the manager was so good, bro. Like, it's crazy how good he was. Obviously, I just struggled. I had an injury the first season I went, and that just kind of took a toll on the season, really, because I just didn't get going. And then I had a good pre-season. I was meant to go on loan at the start of the pre-season. Then he said, no, I want you to stay. So I was like buzzing, thinking, we're in the Premier League, promoted. So I was buzzing and played all the pre-season games. And then they just got off to a good start, man. And like, obviously, football is what it is, kind of thing. Like, sometimes you get an injury, or sometimes just luck happens. You have to be fortunate, man. And then we just come to a decision as a club that I just needed to go back out and play, because obviously we do so well, and I just kind of didn't really have a chance to play. So I went on loan to Bolton for 6 months loan.
Was that during the time that all the things at Bolton was happening, or did you miss that stage and did you not really see what was?
So Bolton had just been taken over by this new company or whoever it is, so everything was pure there. Obviously, at the point with deduction in it, so I knew kind of it was going to be a sticky situation. But for me, it was like, I just need to play, so I'm on loan and I just need to go there and play. And it's a great club, man, like massive club, bro. Like,
massive club.
You know the stadium, and obviously they've been in the Premier and that, so it's just a shame what's happened. But hopefully now things can start to turn around, innit?
Going backwards now again to Man City. Like you said before, you were there when Man City was not the shape kind of empire type place, right? So how did you perceive Man City when you went into the club? Being you're from the city and everything like that, were you just really so happy to even play for a big team anyway, regardless, and being in an academy? And how did you see it change throughout the years when you were there?
So when obviously I was first at City, it was at a place called Platt Lane, which we played youth against. Do you remember Platt Lane? Yes, I remember. So that was a really small academy, like compared to other clubs like United and probably like Arsenal where you was and stuff. So at the time it was just like, obviously it was normal to me because I didn't know any different. But looking back now, like what they have now, the kids that are growing up with the facilities they have, like, if you can't make it with them facilities that you have and like the staff you have and things like that, it's crazy. Because we would have to say like one guy who would overlook us at City as an age group, whereas now there's like 4 or 5 people looking over the age group, and the players basically have like one coach per like couple of players, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, the times have just changed massively. But it was probably the point where we moved to the CFA and realised how like the direction this club was going, because when you walk into that new academy, bro, it's just scary. Like, there's hotels on site, there's swimming pools, there's like 16 pitches, there's got its own mini stadium on site, bro. It's just everything there that you need to have, like top chefs. It's just crazy, man.
What would you say is a kind of better complete facility, St George's, or would it be that complex at Man City?
Man City, bro.
Oh, bro.
100%, bro. It's crazy, bro. So listen to this. When we first went, it was the first team and the EBS, Italy Development Squad, in one building. So this building is like a circular building, and then there's another building, and in between that there's a pitch and an AstroTurf that's like, so there's one circle, pitch, AstroTurf, and then another big circle, and all the pitches that were around the building.
Makes sense.
So we was with the first team because I was with the EDS, so we eat and do things like that with them. So like when they go out to train, we go out to train, because if someone gets in, you have to go over, right? So it was just like basically mirroring the first team. So as a young lad, I was like 17, 18 at the time. It was just like I was living like a first team player in at the same time, treating at the same time, things like that, in the pool with them, stuff like that. So you get into like asking questions, and these players were like, bro, world-class players, you know what I'm saying? These aren't like average players. This is crazy for me that I'm sat with, say, Vincent Kompany, Yaya Toure. We start having a conversation after training in the swimming pool. When Pep Guardiola come in, he moved the EDS from that building over to the academy building. So now it's just a first team centre. So it's one of them that I understand where Pep's coming from, because he needs his group and focus on everything what he has in the building. But Patrick always had it in we'd always look up to who we have and can kind of see how they're eating, see how they're preparing to go out to train in the gym and things. So I was pretty upset, to be fair, when we moved over to the other side of the building. But it's the facility's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Do you know? Knowing a lot of players still there, like Tosin and people like that. Do you know if that actually, impacted either the academy or being the 23 team or the first team that you guys moved, or do you think it just didn't make a difference, to be honest?
Well, for me personally, when I was there, I did find it did make a bit of a difference, because you had this you want to be like them, you want to do everything like them, you want to mirror what they're doing, bro. From the minute they get into who's staying after to do extras and things like that, which at a young age you just want to get in and get out and go and see your boys and do what you're doing.
Exactly.
Say for example, I'm going into training and I'm seeing who's a star player for City, say DeBruyne in the gym after training. Aguero, yeah. If Aguero's in the gym after training, or say in swimming pool doing lengths, I'm going to want to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I have to get to that level, or so I want to get to that level. Whereas when you're on the other side of the building, you're kind of seeing you're the top of the building already. So you're the EDS, and then there's 18s. You know how it goes, because sometimes
get sidetracked.
Yeah, man. You don't look down on the 18s, but there's no goal. There's no. You've already been there, done that. You kind of want to see that next step. You know what I'm saying? So it's I would say it's definitely a negative role, but I think for Pep it's good, because obviously he has his people in one building and he knows that he can walk about and not kind of have to speak to whoever he doesn't know, kind of thing.
Yeah, staying on that team, incredible team. Talk to me and just tell me type of the things that you've seen, in terms of training wise and what players can do, and just I'm just gonna let you speak, bro.
Bro, I could speak all day about him, man. It's crazy. Uncle Yaya, Aguero, Nasri, Sterling, Kompany, De Bruyne, David Silva, bro. These players, you know what it's like when you get told you're going to train with the first team, innit? You kind of nervous, but you're so happy that these are stars, man. You look up to since a kid. So at that point where you was just sharing pictures with them, and sometimes you just look into your side and thinking, Yaya Toure is there. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. But bro, some special players. But I have to say, man, the best. I'd give a top 3 out of because obviously I've been there for a long time. I'd say Vincent Kompany as a trainer was just bro, he was aggressive. If he was on his team, you know you're not having a day off. Whereas say he was on Otamendi's team, you could kind of chill. Do you know what I'm saying? Company's on to you know whether it's me as a young kid or it's Di McKellis as an experienced pro or whoever it would have been at the time. Bro, he was just on it, at it every day. And then De Bruyne special, bro, I can't even explain some of the things that guy used to do. It was just bro, just out of this world. You understand why he's got to the level he's at, kind of thing. And then I would say David Silva's the best out of all of them, bro.
Yeah.
This guy, a magician, bro. Made it look so easy. Everything was just, he'd walk out to training and next minute he's just putting it in bins and chopping and turning and doing match things.
Yeah, no. When I was watching something the other day with Thierry Henry and Fabregas, and the way they're talking about him and that's them. They're top of the bunch, So imagine if you know what I mean. So, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. I'm gonna ask you, who's the hardest to compete against in the midfield, because you're a midfielder, for you, or deeper midfielder. So you're probably facing a lot of people attacking you and stuff like that. And then who do you think, in your eyes, was the most underrated, where you were raw, I didn't know they were that good, Because you see something on, on TV or, from the outside looking in, but these are real top quality Prem players. At the end of the day, they just get overshadowed by world-class players like Yaya Toure and De Bruyne and David Silva, etc.
Yeah. So that question that you just said, then I would have to say, obviously now he's getting the recognition that he deserves. But Sterling, man, when I first time at City, Not when I first signed. So when he first signed at City, like, he was obviously coming with a price tag and things like that, and people always like had something bad to say about the guy. Bro, he was the nicest guy I've ever met. Like, as a young player going up to a first team as well, like, you never have that feeling with players because sometimes like make it hard for you, innit? Which is understandable because you're a young kid and you have to earn like your stripes kind of thing, innit? But Sterling was just so like respectful, and bro, I've been to that guy's house and stuff and just been like chilling. Like, he's so cool, it's unbelievable. And on a foot, like, back to your question, like, this guy was, bro, every training session he was at it. Like, he's so quick, powerful, skillful, can score. He had everything, man, and that's why he's doing what he's doing now, and he's classed in like the top bracket now, isn't it?
Tell people how strong he is that people don't know.
Bro, you see how small he is? You see his legs? Mad.
Yeah.
Bro, he must eat some mad food anyway, let me tell you, bro. He's good, man.
Yeah, no. Obviously, I looked up to him growing up because we're from the same area in London, and yeah,
is it,
like,
yeah?
people, yeah, exact same area. So like, people don't know how nice of a guy he is, and just how good he is anyway. Like, I know it's what about saying, like, if you compare Premier League to, you know, playing at goals with your friends, but still, you know, we were not similar age, but well, he's 2 years older than me, but we were always playing like at goals or something together. And you know, these are with academy players as well, and he's just looking like the best player there by miles. So
and it's like them situations where you realise how good players are in it, like when it's not like a game and you get to see them every day or like every other day when you play summer football or whatever, and you see some of the things you do, you think, wow, like, how can you do that? Mad.
Yeah, and the other question I had was the best midfielder, who gave you the hardest time in midfield when you played against him?
When I played against them, you know what's mad? I actually played against Leroy Sané in training.
Oh, anytime. You're going to say Leroy Sané, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I played against Leroy Sané in the UEFA Youth League, you know, that competition, and played in that, and we had Schalke at home, and Leroy Sané was in the 10, and obviously I played holding midfield in it, so I kind of had to like mark him. But all the game plan was Patrick Vieira was saying, because he was our coach at the time, was like, this kid is like special, and he just come to me and said, I need you to man mark him, just like try and man mark him the whole game. But I'm chasing this guy around, man, and he was just like, bro, so quick, like, it was just stupid.
That's something that you just said that surprised me, though. He played as a 10, yeah. Like, people wouldn't associate him with being somebody who can pick it up in pockets and turn and, you know, get things going and whatever. They would just associate him with being quick and running in straight lines. But yeah, how was he in that game?
He was special, bro. Like I said, Patrick was saying before the game, and for someone like Patrick to say that about a player, like, normally he would just focus on us and like, we're going out to win. We all said to each other, who's this kid? Because all they kept saying was, he's special, he's special, he's special, like in meetings and the videos before the games. And obviously we went out on the pitch and the guy was just like, bro, like you just said, then you wouldn't expect him to be like, but I only knew him for a number 10 at that time. I didn't know how obviously he was going to be a winger, do you know what I'm saying? So at that time, I'm playing for Schalke, and he was just like, bro, technical, skillful, quick, powerful. You just, you know, when you see them players like this, that you know they're going to go to that level.
Yeah.
Bro, special, man, good player.
Let's go back and talk about the rise in Manchester. Obviously, you're from Manchester, born and bred. You know, I don't know if you want to speak about your team that you support or whatever, but how was it growing up in Manchester, seeing, you know, Manchester United just dominate, and then, you know, you're in the midst of it where, you know, you go to City. At the time, they never won a Prem, I think probably when you joined. And then you just see the takeover, all the players come in, and then you see like Man City become as big, you know, right now as Man United are, and obviously they're winning more trophies. Like, how was that to see all of that happen?
Yeah, like in the city of Manchester, like obviously everyone knew who Manchester City was, but the footballing team was always United. Like, and growing up, that's all my family supported. Like United. I had a couple that was City, obviously, but it was just everything was United. And obviously, as soon as that takeover happened, you could see United fans kind of think like they're coming back kind of thing here, because obviously this guy is a billionaire. So obviously money talks in football. So obviously once he took over, obviously they brought Robinho in, and then you see these stars coming in. Obviously United was still at that time at the top, so it didn't really affect him in the early stages. But now, like, bro, I think City, like, as a club, I would have to say, like, I don't know what goes on in clubs around the world, but bro, the owners, the staff, the academy, everything, like the facilities, like I was speaking about before, you just have everything, bro. Like, it's crazy, and they can bring players in from anywhere. Like, it wouldn't surprise if they get a player like Neymar soon, or you know what I'm saying, like someone like that, where
Crazy.
they can start elite level. And that Man City, bro, like, at the time, like you just said, when it all, like when I was growing up in Manchester, it was like everything was United. It was Beckham, it was Scholes, it was Giggs, or the Ronaldos, and you know what I'm saying. So now it's different here. Like, it's everyone's speaking about City and how United are going to get back to anywhere near them, kind of thing, because there's levels right now.
Levels, bro. Like, what Man City are doing right now is just, it's terrifying. Even though they've had a blip season for them anyway, but still a great season. If you look at most Prem teams, you know, from 10 years ago, whatever, they would still be up there challenging for it. It's just they're competing against like one of the best teams right now. So
yeah, Liverpool are a force right now, bro. Like, Liverpool is silly, but
yeah,
like you said, City are a special team, man. Special right now.
Cool. So we're gonna go into like this question round and call it Sleepers Football Edition. So we're basically just gonna ask you a few questions on, you know, things that you've experienced, your time in the game, you know, the best of, etc., etc. So who's the most underrated player nobody would guess that you've played with? So who's the one that you see, like, or maybe, you know, maybe people don't know him, he should get more recognition, etc. And, you know, you rate him highly, but maybe he just doesn't get the light shone upon him.
Yeah, I'd have to say John Fleck from Chef. Like, that guy is a magician, bro. Like, I've obviously, like I've just been speaking about, I've trained with some mad players, and that guy is, bro, technically, it's just like every day in training. And that's when I kind of judge a player, because training is like, you see him every day, and some of the things you can do. Like, a game can be sometimes high tempo, or you might just get lost in a game. It happens to all players. But John Fleck, like, every game he's always at it, and always at like a 8, 9 out of 10 every game, but he just doesn't get that recognition of, like, say Billy Sharp scores a goal, he's going to be in the paper tomorrow. Billy Sharp scores a goal for Sheffield, local hero, and things like that. But a lot of the lads say himself, John Fleck is the best player at the club, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, me personally, I would have never of like seen that. So yeah, yeah, that's a good insight, man. So what's the stadium that you've played at where, you know, you didn't expect it either? You thought, coming in, you know, this is like an atmosphere, man. It's jumping around here. Like, maybe the pitch was a bit close, you know, to the fans or something like that, or, you know, the atmosphere was just crazy and you just didn't think it.
Bro, Stamford Bridge Youth Cup final was sick. That was a good experience, man. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, we lost the first game in it, so we kind of didn't think we had a chance. But Kelechi couldn't play the first game because he didn't have something sorted with his contract or something. Then he could play the second leg. So he come back, and obviously at the time he was like this talent that everyone knew. So when we had him up front, and obviously Chelsea had a team of like mad players, but we went into the game and like they had pure fans there. City brought pure fans. Just the experience was mad. And I'd have to say, like, probably when we was playing UEFA Youth League and we go away to like Roma and things like that, like it could. And we played there quarter final. I got sent off in the game. I got 2 yellows, I think, or it might have been straight red actually. And bro, like, these fans were at me, bro, like saying mad stuff, get off the pitch, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you feel like you're in a proper atmosphere kind of thing, like flares before the game, like that. But yeah, like I'd say going away to them, like foreign countries, is difficult, man.
Yeah, 100%. So next question: who's the direct opponent you've played against? You probably kind of already answered it, but who's that direct opponent you played against? So, you know, you've been holding mid, or maybe you've played centre back one game, or maybe you played left back one game. Who's been that guy you've played against where, you know, he calls you like your worst day at the office?
Bro, I already have this answer, bro. I remember playing against Tammy Abraham, obviously he was at Chelsea, and then we played at, where did Chelsea play? Aldershot, is it?
Yeah, Aldershot, yeah.
Yeah, so we were in that Aldershot, bro. This guy won every header against me. Bro, I couldn't get near him, bro. And obviously, like, I'm a small centre half, and like, I'm not one of them. I'm not toes, and I'm not where, like, he's a big guy. And obviously, I'm a ball playing centre half, and this guy was like into feet, bro. The next minute he's running in behind, next minute he's winning headers. That guy was big problems, bro. Like, I always say, whenever someone says that, obviously now he's getting recognition he deserves. I always knew it, bro. I knew it was coming because he has too much to like not get to that level for me. And obviously, you'll probably know him yourself. Like, bro, he's a problem. Yeah. He's tall, quick. He's technically very good.
I saw him when he used to play on the wing, man. Like, he used to play on the wing, and he's just some lanky winger. Like, but the feet was just mad.
Bro,
yeah,
it's mad, bro, how good his feet are for a big guy.
Bro. For a big guy, yeah. It's like a spider, man. It's scary, bro. Yeah.
I did my goal, man.
Exactly, yeah. That's exactly who he is, man. Exactly who he is. Yeah. So, who's a coach who's meant the most to you?
Patrick Vieira, bro. When I was, how old was I? I was 17. The guy put me captain at EDS, bro. Like, he put a lot of trust in me, and obviously,
17.
EDS is like, it's a good level, man. Like, there's some very good players across the country, like Chelsea, Arsenal, United, wherever. And I was captain, and obviously my own changing room was a lot older than me. We had like, remember Pozo, the striker, the Spanish guy, Madrid.
Yeah.
We had him, Marcos Lopez, Mateus Bossarts. We had so many players, Shea Facey, that was like in the team. And I was
Shea as well. He was a captain, kind of leader type, you know.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And this guy put me as captain. I was like, wow. It was mad, man. But I have so much appreciation for that guy, man, because like, he just always like, not obviously looked out for all these players, but he had like, I feel like he had a special place in his heart for me, kind of thing. I just always wanted to work hard, man.
That's good, man. Good to hear. So, next question. What's a thing? Actually, last question. What's a thing about footballers or just football in general that people from the outside, they're in a bit of delusion about? So maybe it's like, footballers they're not nice people. Or maybe it's just like footballers don't care. Or maybe it's like, football is easy. Like, what is the delusion that you hear a lot from the outside that is just not true? And it gets misconstrued.
I think there's so many examples, bro. Like, everyone just sees 3 o'clock on a Saturday, bro, or like 7:45 on a Tuesday, and think it's just like, you walk out to the pitch, you play a game of football, you go home. But there's so much more to that, bro. Like, we've been playing football since we was kids, and when you get to that point where you sign your deal, I think that's when everything changes, because then like, you're paying bills, you have cars to pay for, your family a lot of players have family that kind of put pressure on them to bring money back to the household, kind of thing. So, and that was kind of, I didn't have that pressure from my family, but we're not from like a privileged kind of background, you know what I'm saying? So when I kind of got my first deal, that was when I could move my mum out of the area, when I could do things. So like, people don't see them pressures. Like, I was 17 at the time, but like 17 buying my mum a house.
Got to be a big man. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And like, some people don't do that the whole lifetime, never mind at 17. So for me, people don't see that. People just see like, oh, he's got this new car, he's got this, he's got that, and then watch me on a game day. But there's so much more that goes into it, like so much hard work. And like, for example, when you was asking me the question, the first person I think about is Sterling, because he gets so much bad criticism or like press about what goes on. But bro, I can guarantee you now, he does probably more charity work than the majority of players in the Premier League, and probably gives back to his community more than most players in the Premier League. And I just don't feel like when the bad things get like straight in the papers, the good things, they don't go in the papers, they don't go in the news, they don't get known worldwide to people and made publicly. So I just think sometimes you just have to like, there's just so much more that goes on in football, bro, than 3 o'clock on 7:45 on a Tuesday, man.
Yeah, man. Obviously, you had an incident with a couple of, people you grew up with, your mates and stuff. And
like some people don't, like, when you get to that point, people only see you from that point. Do you know what I'm saying? So if I'm playing, let's say for example, I was playing the Premier League at the top level next week, and people only see me at that point. They don't see the point of being at Bury when I was injured for 5 months and like times were hard, man. Like they only see that side. Whereas I think there's so much more to like the game and like the downside you had to go through to get to where you are in football or in life, bro.
Yeah, man. Just is what it is, but just need to keep moving forward, man, and kind of shifting. So I'm trying to do, man, try to shift people's mindsets a bit, and let them see a bit inside of what goes on. But yeah, man, I won't keep any more of your time, man. I appreciate you coming on. Wish I could have spoke to you longer, but there's always next time.
Always good to speak to you, bro.
Yeah, I like doing it as well when, say for example, I haven't spoken to somebody in a while, so it's like I'm catching up.
Yeah, but it's been good to catch up, bro. We had good times at England, man. It was very good time.
100%, man.
Good to speak to you, bro.
Yeah, Footy258 signing out. Kean Bryan here. Check it out.
For more content like this, like, share, and subscribe.